welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to my match reaction to Tottenham Hotspur 1, Everton 0. Everton lose for the first time since the resumption of the Premier League campaign, and let's be honest, it was well and truly deserved. It was an absolutely pathetic display. It wasn't the most embarrassing display we've put in this season, but that's just a damning indictment of the season, to be honest. It doesn't really shower this performance in any glory. I thought we were really awful. I thought nobody looked interested. I think that's the best way of putting it. Is nobody really seemed like they cared enough today. I think maybe people are already on their holidays. I don't know what was the reason behind it, but we looked as though we were trying to play for a draw, for starters. And then even when we conceded, we didn't look interested in getting in the penalty area and getting bodies forward. And there was just absolutely no urgency from us today. I don't know what's wrong. Maybe it's a game too far for the players who I always thought was notoriously unfit before the lockdown. I thought we'd really busted the gut in a couple of the games we've had so far, but certainly if that is the case, they've certainly overdrawn the energy from the bank, if you like, and they certainly weren't up for it today. It was pretty dismal, to say the least, from the whole team, really. I think with the exception of Anthony Gordon, who came on as a sub at half-time and had a few goals, he really seemed to feel like it seems as if he wanted to get us moving forward. Moise Keane came off the bench as well, and he seemed like he was trying to get a goal. He showed a few glimpses of ability, but it was a generally very poor performance. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin got on the ball but didn't get in the box, and it's no surprise when you see how poorly the midfield was playing. Like, there was no service, there was inadequate service. Andre Gomez still doesn't look like he's with it at all. I don't know whether that's because we're rushing him back from this injury or if there's anything more to it than that, but he's not been himself at all since the restart. Tom Davies was okay. I thought he was probably the best of the midfielders, but that's not saying much. He was at least tried to get us moving forward. Gylfi Sigurdsson was awful. It was back to the Gylfi of before lockdown, of not looking interested, and as much as I don't like to, inflate Gary Neville's ego any more than it already needs doing, he was spot on with a lot of things today, and one of them was about how poor Gylfi Sigurdsson was and how he cowered out the challenges and how he just doesn't have any urgency in him and any fire, and he's spot on there, and rightly so. Gylfi was substituted in the second half and things got slightly better, but not by much. And one of the other things Gary Neville touched on is our embarrassing record of coming from behind, and he nailed it again. I think the players' confidence just drained out of them, he said, when we conceded the first goal, and that was evident to see. I mean, we weren't playing fantastically well before the first goal, but it certainly didn't get any better. If anything, it got worse. Players just give up. It was one of them. It's very much a end the season game. It felt like that. Players didn't seem to be bothered. Didn't feel like anything was riding on the game. We certainly didn't treat it as if there was anything riding on the game. It felt like a pre-season friendly, and I know we said things about the going into this resume season with no fans, and it might be a bit like a pre-season friendly, but that was quite literally a pre-season performance from Everton. It was going through the motions, no urgency to try and score a goal. And considering it was the big game to try and maybe keep our European push alive, it was absolutely abysmal. And that's it. Now it's curtains as far as getting into Europe's concerned. We're not going to get into Europe this season. We'll be lucky to finish top half if we carry on playing like that. And that's very much a possibility. We're still in the bottom half, of course, even if it is 11th. And we want to finish in the top half. That's the bare minimum for Everton. To finish in the bottom half as Everton Football Club is an absolute embarrassment, especially when you consider the investment over the years. And I know it's not always been great, but even then we should have a good enough squad to finish in the top half. And if we don't, I think, well, certainly it's no slight on Ancelotti because he's moved us up the table, but it's a damning indictment on this squad. And of course Marco Silva, who came before, but I think it's not just a Marco Silva issue, it's a players issue, and it's an issue that even Carlo Ancelotti's going to have he's going to have to bring his own players in, because some of these players just don't cut the mustard. We've seen that on too many occasions, and now this was another important game to try and get us to kick on and maybe finish in a European place, and they blew it again. We can't have this going on year after year, constantly blowing big games and blowing opportunities to kick on as a club and finish higher up the league. We can't keep spurning these opportunities. That's our last chance this season to win away at an established top 6 ground, and again we've lost. It's just not good enough, and it wasn't just a case of not being good enough today, it was not being interested enough, which is even more infuriating in a way. I thought we could have given so much more there and we didn't bother. The lack of urgency was concerning. I don't know what it is. Like I say, is it the end of the season now? Is everyone going on their holidays already in the Reds? I don't know, but it's certainly not the attitude we want to see from Everton players. And regardless of whether there is very little to play for or not, we're still playing for pride. We're still playing for as high a league position as possible, and these players need to give more than they gave today. And on an individual note, I thought Iwobi was really poor. He got subbed at half time. Sigurdsson, like I say, was poor. Other than that, you can't really point the finger specifically at anybody. I thought it was just a collectively poor performance. Nobody really stunk the place out apart from those names I've named. But no one, apart from maybe Anthony Gordon, did anything really of note to get us moving forward. And it was just bland, boring. Definitely not what we want to see. And it's definitely not what Carlo Ancelotti will want to see. He'll want to see more in the next game, and he'll certainly want to be seeing more players coming in, because I don't think he'll be content with a lot of these players. I know I'm certainly not, and if I'm not, I'm sure Carlo Ancelotti isn't. So we've only got to hope that he has an idea which I'm pretty sure he does have an idea, what he wants to bring in, and hopefully we can make that happen, because these players are just not fit for purpose. If we want to be moving further and further up the table, it's just not going to happen while we have a squad as awful as this and disinterested as some of these players. I think some of these seriously need bombing out. I mean, I think we knew that already, but now it's just hammered it home. We thought maybe we could get away with it with the sort of shrewd tactics that Ancelotti's been using, but there's only so far that's going to get you when the squad is as god-awful as this. And as expected, I think now we've come up short, and that's that as far as Europe's concerned. We've just got to try and get a top half finish now, and that's really disappointing to have to say that, but it is the way it is, and we've got to accept that until we can strengthen the squad for next season. So there you have it, guys. Tottenham 1, Everton 0. Let us know how you felt the game went. I mean, you'll be as depressed as I am probably. Let us know how you feel in the comments. Give this video a like, because you must love listening to me being depressed, and also give a subscribe to the Toffee Blues if you want to listen to more of me being depressed. So there you go, guys. Thank you for tuning in on the Toffee Blues, and I'll see you next time.